We just got to see the slow-mo into fast forward 1v1 between Sniper and Quid. That was awesome.
How many Kangas ribbons does it take to beat one Sniper ribbon?
At least 100. I'm gonna take the 100-to-1 challenge.
Versus 100 Kangas ribbons.
Give me Pantheon. Maybe we can do a 5v1. Maybe.
That's cheating.
Yeah, point and clicks. But we're all gonna press at the same time because we're all the same guys. So it's kind of wasted. Either way, that was awesome. He did defend the family name. All of him and his brothers all love that champion. Love playing it. Viper especially.
We need to fly in the whole family, have the family ribbon battle.
That would be a fun one. The family ribbon versus all casters.
Yeah.
So we get like a 5v3 or something.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. See if they can take us.
I think we lose for sure.
Yeah, you think so? All right. Wow. Well, you were the one I was betting money on could actually take one of them, so that's unfortunate for us.
Not as ribbon.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I could not play ribbon.
I just spam the buttons, right? You know, stuff happens. All right. Well, either way, you got to play last game. Not the focal point of last game, if we're being honest. It was still the Quid and River show.
He's still undefeated.
But he's still undefeated. That's a good point. Won't get it this time around as it is Fearless Draft, but now they find themselves on the other side of the rift. And Disguise find themselves with their back against the wall for split to Azael. If they lose this series, they will be going home early.
Got a reverse sweep or it's a go home fast angle. So those are the options here for DSG. We'll see if they can make anything happen here. They are on blue side. A lot of the usual suspects are banned out. It is interesting. I kind of feel like we're just getting a Xin first pick.
And there it is.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it's like, when you look through, I honestly am not that big a fan of blue side right now because I feel like a lot of the OPs are not that game defining.
Sure.
That I feel like red side is more valuable for counter picks. And they're just going to slam down Kalista or Renata. They're like, we don't even care what you're going to try to play.
Yeah.
Now, I really wonder if ScaryJerry and huhi would be willing to play something that's like pretty poke heavy and outrange. Because traditionally that is kind of the option. Like obviously you could go Ezreal Karma or something, but I still think you could play like Ashe plus poke and really just try to outrange. I think those answers can be quite strong. Plus Renata is very effective into hard engage and really like heavy commitment champs.
Yeah.
And pretty weak into poke and AoE damage. So
and most of what huhi has been playing is more of that engage, but I don't see Jerry and huhi being like a Lucian Melio bot lane like we've seen be, you know, the pick into something like this. So instead, they're just going to opt to not go for their bot lane and instead grab the Annie pick here, which I guess theoretically could still go into the support, expecting it more in that mid lane, but I would consider the flex pick right now.
I think there's definitely a possibility of it, but in pro play, it's almost exclusively, at least in the top regions, been played mid lane. It can be played support, can be played top, like you can, but it's just almost always mid lane. And one thing, you know, like I said, AoE damage also can be quite good against Renata because it can make it difficult to know, okay, who do you actually bail out? That being said, if they are spread out and you just try to full combo the Kalista and one-shot them, well, Renata just presses bailout and then it's kind of like, all right, well, I just flashed forward into you.
Or you go for the Renata, Kalista just ults her back in and she saves, so they both kind of like keep each other alive in that sense.
Exactly, so it can be very, very difficult in that way. But DSG did elect to save what we're assuming are their bot lane picks for last, so we're just going to be seeing some targeted bans thrown down towards that. I feel like you target the support more than the AD carry from this position. Nico makes a lot of sense. Again, AoE engage, good poke. It is one of those really strong poke supports that are quite popular right now. And I feel like that is kind of the weakness when you play Renata. Renata is one of my favorite supports. It's something that I used to play a lot of, but if you're playing against, I don't think we're going to see in pro, but if you end up playing against like Brand and Vel'Koz and champions like that, it's like bailout does nothing and you're just outranged and then it gets really, really hard. So Nico is kind of like the most
middle ground, One Gorilla versus...
Ooh. Well, it's looking like 100 Thieves after last game.
Yeah, it depends on if the early game goes as well.
There wasn't a Wukong in that game, though, to really test the theory.
That's a good point. Hey, there's still chance for Disguise to go for that. Oh, Jad, is this drawing better? That's the same drawing. I'm going to call you out. I'm pretty sure that's the exact same one. You just added some, like, relish onto it or something. Yeah, he's nodding his head. Yeah, I recognize that. It's the legs being on the front end.
That says it's a better drawing, though, so congratulations.
Oh, he does?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, he doesn't speak for me.
You're the jerk.
Yeah. It's okay. I'll be the bad guy on this cast here.
Makes sense. Another poke support here.
Yep.
Ban it out.
And so that means there's not a lot of options available for huhi. 100 Thieves will have to lock in either their jungler or their mid laner.
Zoe's not something we've seen a lot of in pro play. It hasn't been at all in LTA this split. So it would be pretty exciting if it does get locked in, but I'm not going to get baited just yet. We'll see where Quid wants to take us. It is instead going to be Viktor, which makes a lot of sense. You just kind of outrange. You just try to push in the ante. Champions that don't really interact with you and just kind of outrange you can be.
Oh, we got the whole
difficult.
5-stack here. Wait, this is awesome. Well, at least AD carry, support, fill, a movement. Okay, so that means we got a top laner up there, I guess, was the 100 Thieves sign. That's awesome. What rank are y'all?
Challengers.
Challengers? Yeah. Clearly. No? Yeah. Okay, we're seeing some conflicting messages from that group, but
I'm seeing some confident nods and thumbs up. Ooh, we get Ashe Caitlyn. So they are going to go for something that can outrange a poke. It is Ashe, like I was kind of predicting, but with some of these poke supports banned out, it is instead going to be Caitlyn alongside it. That Riven is sick. Nice drawing.
Beautiful. And you got to get Sniper to sign that later.
Trundle support, or Trundle jungle, excuse me, here. So this is actually a pretty interesting way to round this out. It is going to be Ashe support here for huhi. So Ashe Caitlyn, this is a throwback to when we used to see this for a while, a couple years ago, where Carrier was really kind of like dominating the meta. We were seeing double Halo Blades bot lanes. People are really cooking. And I'm excited to see if they are going to heavily commit towards it. Like, is it going to be, you know, Combat Ashe and Halo Blades, or is it going to be double Halo Blades and like really going all in for the level 1s, and where you're both just kind of putting that pressure on FBI to a point where he can't really fight back?
Yeah.
I also do like, if you are going to play this sort of style, having it with the pairing that they have on the top side, right? They have Annie for initiation, they have Sion and Xin Zhao, you know, for this kind of front line. Obviously, the Ashe can throw arrows as well to help start those fights. So I feel like the comp makes some sense there. I do think Trundle jungle is pretty interesting. It's not something that's very popular, but when you are playing Trundle jungle into a champion like Sion, you steal so many stats
and that's the one target you're going to go for. Non-subscribers, we'll see you in 30 seconds, but for everybody else sticking around, to your point, you only have that one tank that you need to worry about to steal the resistances.
Exactly. You steal the resistances, but also you're taking a chunk of their health. You're making yourself way more tanky. So you really become a pretty strong front line while shredding your opponent's front line. And it also becomes very, very difficult when you are playing one of these kind of like frontliners like Xin Zhao and like Sion, who kind of don't really have a lot of mobility, because what you can often do is when they go in as the Trundle, you actually just pillar out the back line and you kite back and you just hit front line. You don't need to necessarily pillar off the frontliners. You just push back the Caitlyn and the Ashe, make it so they're having to try to struggle past this pillar to actually come up and hit. And your whole team is just smacking those frontliners while they're getting Trundle ulted. And it can be very, very difficult to deal with. It is Halo Blades Ashe.
It is Halo Blades Ashe. We have the lethal tempo on ScaryJerry on the Caitlyn. And again, a new look for the bot lane here of this guys. As mid lane, actually. We're still pushing out bot side. I see mid, I think.
They don't want him to get a free recall. This is actually really, really nice, because minions are spawning and still Eyla hasn't been able to base. They're not going to kill him, but they're making it so if he bases now, FBI has to start, you know, in a 1v2. He's not going to actually be back in time for the wave to crash, so he's going to miss, you know, some of the experience when those two waves actually do meet up. Abbedagge here, it looked like he had to actually start E to get away, so that really sucks for his level 1. And that is going to be pretty difficult.
But we had a question coming into the series, and we actually saw some Rosemary on the stage earlier. We'll get to that point actually later, because this is more important. River now. Level 1. This is going to be a pure 50-50 smite fight.
Look at him canceling his autos. He's trying to bait eXyu into hitting it so he can combo it.
And it looks like it was eXyu, so failed invade from River and a great early game from this guy.
I'm kind of like, why? Like, but why? You know what I mean? Like, you already got this huge advantage, you know, down in the bot lane. And you're at the, huge disadvantage for River down in the bot lane. Now eXyu's just going to follow him into the jungle.
Because you know that River is not level 2, only level 1
as well.
No smites. eXyu's going to go for the invade, push River away from these camps. Oh, this is rough for 100 Thieves jungler.
He's got too many wolves, but he's coming back. He's not willing to give it up. I mean, still, none of them have a smite, so it is just a flip. I mean, River can try to steal it here with his Q, but if he goes in to try to steal it and doesn't get it, he's going to die.
Level 2 on eXyu means that he can just push River away. Like, River cannot fight him. Conqueror stacked up, so River's got to go to a different camp. Now Smite's coming off cooldown, and eXyu can just take the bottom quadrant. Oh, are we going for a dive?
Not at level 2. There's no way you're going to go at level 2. But, I mean, you can see Eyla has already been forced to use his heal. FBI already used his pot. And look at FBI's health. He has 3 CS. He has less than half health. And his summoner is down with no heal. So this is the pain from this kind of thing. And because River decided to not do a standard clear and did this kind of flipped invade that he then did not get, The result is ScaryJerry and huhi have literally zero to be afraid of.
Yeah.
So you just play on their tower, you hit them under their tower, you harass them, because you know exactly where their jungle is, you know he's topside, and you know he's useless. So no one can actually punish you from doing this. It makes the bot lane so much worse now for 100 Thieves.
Fantastic start for Disguise. And this is what we really wanted to see because they were struggling so far. And flash from Quid with the flash answer, and it's still first blood. Airy for the kill.
Oh, that sucks for Abbedagge.
Yeah, I mean, it was a great start for Disguise, but that solo kill kind of flips that back on its head. Yes, your bot lane's very behind, but mid lane getting that kill. Sniper also heavily chunking out Castle here. Means 100 Thieves have found windows to get back in.
Yeah, 100 Thieves, are trying to get themselves back into it. They are up a little bit of gold here. Obviously, the bot lane is in a really tough spot, but that being said, they can maybe stabilize. eXyu has no smite, so River is likely to be able to get this if he commits. But doesn't have the confidence to commit, and he doesn't know that he has no smite, so he's not willing to flip it.
Sure. When you don't have that information, flash for it from Sniper, aggressively at Abbedagge, and there's that pillar. Abbedagge with no flash from the earlier play. Quid gets another kill participation. River with the kill that time, and Abbedagge goes down twice.
All right, that's a disaster. The first death sucks, but you TP back. The second death, you have no teleport. You're going to lose all of these minions as you were trying to roam to protect. And they just collapse on him and punish him because they know we have top lane prio. Castle was stuck under his tower on top side. So Sniper just moves down, attacks Abbedagge, who has no flash.
How many stacks does Quid have on the Viktor right now? Because participating in 2 kills this
93.
early? That's going to be a very fast upgrade.
Yes, sir.
On ability, yeah.
That's tough.
Oh boy, River's gonna look for even more now on the top side. Castle
killer after flash.
Has to flash, but still gets knocked up. Nothing to be done. 100 Thieves claim the feat of warfare.
Yep, really well played there. That's all you have to do when you're going for these early ganks as a Trundle jungle. If you were allowed to walk in and start hitting them, you chomp them for the slow. Sniper is hitting him. As soon as you flash, you're just going to get pillared. There's nowhere to go. You don't need to use your pillar on the initial approach if they just let you walk up to them like that. So, yeah, Castle flashes, tries to get out, but there's no real shot of actually escaping from that position. So, yeah, he has no farm. He's on 18 CS, but he is up gold and he has 2 KP. So, River's chilling.
It's just such crazy, like, first 5 minutes of this game. It starts off with Eyla having to take an early back, River trying to contest and failing an invade jungle, and then eXyu invading, pushing him out. Doesn't matter. 100 Thieves still find themselves with a lead. And I think the Disguise, really all that they have going for them right now is this bot lane slight advantage, as eXyu's going to play around it. River taking the 1v1, but eXyu with that Conqueror stacked up is doing a lot of damage here. FBI taking the fight, though, onto ScaryJerry and huhi. eXyu's winning his 1v1, but now the pillar comes out, flash away. Ayla's joined up, River in trouble. eXyu looking for the damage. Will find it, but the bailout saves River. 100 Thieves absorb the play.
Yeah, and all River was trying to do was buy time for Quid to move. He knows that Quid is coming down. Yes, he will lose the eventual fight 100-0, but he's close enough to his tower that eXyu couldn't actually commit to it. He could always flash back to safety.
Yeah.
And if eXyu stays around and keeps trading fighting with him, well, Quid's going to arrive first. You're always going to win on the extended fight. So it looks silly because you have a PTA Trundle trading against a Conqueror stacked Xin Zhao, but he knows he has first move from mid lane, so he'll always win out in that eventual fight. And at the end of the day, they do kill off eXyu. eXyu uses his flash, and now huhi walking forward.
And he's going to get engaged on now by FBI. Power to buy the Renata Glasc. Not quite enough damage for the kill, but heal used. So Summoner Spell down for Disguise as Castle runs in. I think that was Disguise, again, trying to just make a Hail Mary play. They are looking for desperation plays on the Rift.
Yeah, that's tough to be in that position when it hadn't even been 7 minutes into the game. So
yeah,
that is looking rough.
And your split lives are on the line here. Abbedagge still no flash available. Tibbers down. Quid looking for the extra bit of damage. Oh, the laser misses.
Yeah, laser misses. I don't think it would have been enough. He still has 200 health, so it should have been fine either way, but they put that pressure on, just constantly moving through here. Abbedagge trying to burn down the wave, but Tibbers, not what it used to be.
Nope.
It is definitely a lot more of the power from Annie's kit is now just in those basic abilities, a lot less in the Tibbers burn. Now the swap is going to be matched here from 100 Thieves, though it is quite delayed. And you can see Sniper already moving down bot to be able to answer Castle here. while their bot lane does head out towards top, but they are kind of late, so likely to get a plate or something for DSG on the top side, and that is going to feel pretty nice, at least for ScaryJerry.
And I was surprised to see the focus on the bot side with the double marksman. Based on how Disguised have been getting some of their leads earlier, is usually around Castle, but to their credit, ScaryJerry and huhi have been actually playing fairly well. Yes, they got pushed out by FBI Eyla while eXyu was taking the fight versus River, but aside from that, I think that overall they've been making a lot happen as they get plates topside. Abbedagge absorbing a Chaos Storm from Quid mid lane. Has teleports, so can look to get back into this lane fast, and I think that they will actually get these grubs. So Disguise, they are still looking for plays. They will never give up.
Did you curse them?
Trying to fight.
Nope.
I think they're out of there.
They're okay.
Handshake misses from Eyla. Really would have been the only thing to lock him down.
Yep. And River now hit 6, so he is largely caught up as far as the experience is concerned, though he is still down a lot of farm. But does have quite a bit of kill experience here, and FBI is looking for a trade.
ScaryJerry walks up. FBI gets a couple Ren stacks in. Slowed up. Damage from Eyla right there. As Jerry now down to half health, will try and catch this wave. FBI still just very confident to walk up regardless of this double range marksman.
Yeah, and the big problem is because you didn't really kind of snowball this bot lane, like they have a lead, it's not bad. It's just a lot harder to play out the rest of the game, and like 100 Thieves now have stabilized kind of in this bot lane 2v2 to the point where the advantage is not extending, right? And now you have to play with an Ashe support, you know, and that is going to be very, very difficult. If you miss position whatsoever, you are just going to die for free. You're going to be a free reset for someone like an Aatrox. If you ever get pillared in, you basically have to have flash or you're going to die. So he has to position well. That being said, he does have Hawkshot to kind of track where his opponents are. He can still look for those enchanted crystal arrows to try to find plays. But it's going to be difficult for him.
And, you know, we have a little lull state here, so we wanted to highlight something, because I hear that we have some insider information onto the Rosemary that we saw on the stage earlier. So let's take a listen in.
Yeah. Jerry.
Yeah.
Wait, he actually brought the Rosemary.
You go just...
The Rosemary made it on stage.
Wait, let me get some of that.
Let me get a
Let me get a little...
Hey, let me get a hit of that Rosemary.
Bro, the camera is watching you. So weird, bro.
All right. Well, that was certainly a look into the lore of the
questions than answers after that.
Yeah, if anything, I'm more confused. We also saw a play happen in the mid lane there while that was going on, as the Ashe arrow went a little wide. FBI taking his solo play on the ScaryJerry, not fully committing to it into the wave. The ScaryJerry has the ace in the hole used. And it's just action everywhere, man. These guys are trading aggressively versus each other.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and they kind of have to, right? That's the thing. If you're going to play a double range bot lane like this, you need to continue extending the advantage, so you've got to keep playing in your opponent's face. And then if they're willing to fight, well, guess what? You're fighting.
Yep. And both of these teams love to fight. Neither one of them willing to back down, as we saw it to Disguised's detriment in the last game. So far, things looking a little more stable, but River will walk in and just smite steal away the Gromp. eXyu now cannot lock him down, and River will walk away right there. And again, I know it's still a sizable lead for 100 Thieves right now, about 1,500 gold in the lead, but it is a more stable early game than we saw for Disguised last time around. So if you are a Disguised fan, there is still reason to keep cheering right now, because with the pick tools they have, all it takes is a big mistake, one person out of position, suddenly the Annie ult, suddenly the Ashe ult. You can actually try and lock somebody down and get back into this game. But against 100 Thieves, they don't give you a lot of options.
Exactly, and you know, versus teams that are, this is when they beat them, you know, currently. So yes, they did beat some teams that were traditionally considered higher than them in the standings last split when you think about them taking down, you know, some of the teams and getting to the finals. But traditionally, they have been really good against teams below them in the standings and struggled against teams that are higher than them in the standings. I believe this is largely because they are a very good hands team. They are really good at how they actually play out fights and team fights. And if you are not at that level, they will just fight you non-stop, and eventually they're going to outplay you. Eventually they're going to be able to build these incremental advantages, because they're just going to keep trading, and they're just going to be better at it than you are. And that is really the difficulty with 100 Thieves.
Like this, flash, handshake, dodged by huhi, but now he's got to jump away, misses the Ashe arrow. And FBI trying to lock him down, a lot of damage. huhi's in trouble, the Ren wasn't enough, but the arrow is. FBI now turned out to ScaryJerry. The bailout is enough. 100 Thieves pull off another play.
Yeah, they just straight up go for it. Even with the handshake not hitting, they're able to dodge the crystal arrow. They throw out the hostile takeover, making space. FBI gets lethal tempo stacked up, and River is just behind him, and they get a double kill now on this double range bot lane. Mid lane is just trading ultimates to push waves over and over and over. And Abbedagge is having to micro the Tibbers just to try to not give over that additional gold, trying to let it regen back up here, to not just give over another 50 gold to his opponent.
But again, it doesn't do as much after the initial cast. Let's get another look, though, at this kind of extended 2v2. Ayla's the one that sees the angle first.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, and this is because they see River coming, right? So Flash, reacted Flash there from huhi, nicely done. Throws out the hostile takeover. ScaryJerry is able to sidestep it with the movement speed from the heal, but then the knock-up from the Kalista ultimate. FBI just piles in, uses the barrier, plus the bailout. ScaryJerry trying to flash back to safety, but River is behind him. Just no way out, and you can see it. He knows how bad that is for their game. If they are not pushing, if they are not being able to play aggressively, they're in a tough spot.
Now they're still looking for another play, though, as eXyu, huhi send everybody up onto Quid. Flash away. Down strike from Quid, eXyu rather, still trying to lock Quid down. Eyla handshake saves him. Sniper TP flank. DSG find themselves in a fight, and they're actually doing all right to start off. Sniper healing back up a massive amount, though. Bailout used. He's got to find a kill. Doesn't get it. Shut down to Abbedagge. DSG did just find a play. That's something in their pocket. A kill picked up as River's now all alone here. The slows from Ashe now going to try and keep him locked into place, as FBI is going to try and keep him alive. Flash forward, flash fall from Castle with the decimate. River goes down, shut down to Castle.
That's really good. A couple quick kills there for them. They try to go for this initial play onto Quid on top side, but Quid has a Roa and Merc Treads early on. He is very tanky. Plus the Q shields here coming through.
Oh,
what was that?
He just had, I've seen that before. Yeah. So if you hit the wrong angle, you actually bounce off of it and get a different angle.
I'm not going to lie. That looked crazy.
I've seen the Baus talk about that specific area on the map before.
Sniper TP's in here to try to turn around, but they have so much CC for him. I mean, even with the passive Deathbringer stance there, Auto, he's not able to stay alive. River comes in on this flank. He was trying to actually bail him out, but it becomes this really weird disjointed fight where they are able to knock down Sniper, they are able to chase down River, so they at least get themselves some gold here. They have that top lane tower low, and we don't have the feats of strength claimed just yet, so it still is up and available for both teams.
It's signs of life for Disguised, which is really all you can ask for at this point in the series right now. Still behind in gold, but they are...
ask for more.
Oh, okay, well, fair enough. There's always the potential. There's always the potential right there. Shout out Busio.
Hey, I know that guy.
Shout out Basil. Busio, give me a flex right now. Give me a flex. Oh, it went off him too fast. He also didn't do it live. I'm looking right at him.
Some FlyQuest goes scouting out the competition here.
True, true. All right. Now, you said you can ask for more. Disguise are asking for Ashe Arrow after Ashe Arrow. He's always fishing for them, always looking for them, as now they have priority around the Dragon. Ayla goes for the handshake on the ScaryJerry, though no summoner spells available. Hit by the hostile takeover, taken down. FBI with that kill.
The FBI going to be able to grab another kill there. They're going to take down the mid lane tier 1. But DSG are moving in. We'll see if they can actually try to punish here.
eXyu now caught away. Another handshake, this one landing from Ayla. eXyu has to pop the ultimate just to survive.
Yeah, and you look at bot lane, Sniper's already pushing there, so they know they're winning out on the other side of the map. It's not like 100 Thieves have to force any sort of a play. You can see Castle is moving down, has ultimate available, but Quid is here too. I think DSG are just going to try to force, but there's not really an angle. So you're kind of just losing out mid. You roamed over from top to try to answer the play. You can't find anything there. And on bot side, you're losing all these minion waves. You're going to lose even more tower damage. No one's even heading down to answer, so eventually Sniper will be able to knock this down on this cannon wave.
Yeah, the only way is if Abbedagge just flash Tibbers is there, but not willing to go for it. In the extended play here, 100 Thieves has basically got 1,000 worth of gold I saw on the total gold count there, just with Sniper in the side lane.
Is it 1,000 worth of gold or 1,000 gold? Are they? Is it one gold piece, you know, or is it like you just have like a big bar of gold that is worth a differing amount?
I think it's coins, because you always see the little coins pop up.
That's what I would think too.
So you need like a purse, you need something to carry it in. It's a whole process, Azael. Yeah.
If you get rich enough, do you have to get like a backpack, you know?
I think you get a bank, actually, and then they give you a credit card, and then you use that to
Shopkeeper doesn't accept credit cards.
show that you have funds somewhere else.
I don't believe you.
Even though they're not physically there. You know what? I'm not.
Not in my League of Legends. You can't carry around the gold you don't deserve to have it.
Can you take a loan in League of Legends? Do you think that's allowed? Maybe lease your house?
I feel like loan is kind of like getting boosted, you know? You're loaning out some LP.
I don't think we're allowed to talk about that one.
Okay.
There were runes that let you go negative in the past. I guess that's kind of it. Is Abbedagge? Oh no! We've seen that happening all game. Finally, Quid's able to pull it off there. Yet again. First blood to 8th 400 Thieves now.
Yeah.
Still the same story. The mid lane gap is Quid now 2-0-2, still on the scaling Viktor.
It's kind of just like, how do you even control the map at all at this point, right? You're a support Ashe with no sums. You're losing out on the side lanes. You're kind of losing out everywhere. You can't really even play for vision because you walk in anywhere, you're just going to die.
Yep.
So it is very tough. And you can see the 100 Thieves now just moving up everywhere. After the previous play around mid, they take down the bot lane tier 1. Now Quid obviously gets a kill on top side, so they're pushing in mid. They're going to be able to take the top lane tier 1. And River's just hanging around here, farming camps and pushing that advantage further and further forward. 18 minutes in, 4.5k gold lead. They're going to see if there's anything happening here on Sniper, but Sniper's just going to be able to back it up.
Doing something at least. Overloading onto one side of the Rift. They will get a turret here. So a play, again, disguised, will never back down from trying to do something on the Rift. And you got to feel for the situation they're in right now. Yet to pick up a series win. Only one win so far this split. One win last split. They've really struggled to come online here. And it's not for lack of trying. You talk to the players, you talk to the team. They are motivated. They are trying to improve, but they just haven't been able to translate that to the Rift itself. And 100 Thieves is a mountain of an opponent to try and tackle here. They are kind of the boogeyman of the bottom 4 teams out of the group stage.
Yeah, it is very difficult, but DSG are stepping forward.
River in some trouble. eXyu actually jumps back onto Quid instead, who had the flash available, gets back to safety. Gravity Well goes down. Abbedagge has not thrown out the Timbers yet, but there we go. The flash engage from Abbedagge isn't enough. River goes down. Abbedagge falls. eXyu will as well. That's a 2-to-1 trade for 100 Thieves as they look for more. Castle has to flash back to the rest of the team. The double marksman. They have space to play with, but they're not walking up to hit. Instead, it's just Castle taking all the damage from the Thieves. FBI's dancing around them. Castle goes into zombie form, but ScaryJerry and huhi still just not confident to walk up as Quid almost falls. 100 Thieves crush another fight.
Yeah, they crush the fight. I mean, Sion in zombie form has hands, but it does not even matter. Quid is so damn tanky with that early Roa. And 100 Thieves are running away with this one. I feel like as DSG, you know that the game is slipping away for you. You just have to take any opportunity that you can actually find. But unfortunately, the Enchanted Crystal Arrow does get flashed. Then Sniper's coming in from the side. And Quid is just getting so much work done. Abbedagge does flash forward, but the follow-up really isn't there. ScaryJerry's not there. Castle's trying to mark Sniper on the other side. So they don't really have the damage to knock down a lot of members.
Yeah.
And with Quid still at full health, with FBI really unthreatened, as long as the carries are hitting, 100 Thieves is winning every single fight. Castle trying his best to make space, but FBI not afraid whatsoever. He's just hopping past him, and then Quid is just straight up ignoring him in zombie form.
Yep.
And just hitting his carries.
That's just so tough to see, that type of play. But 20 minutes on the clock. Otacon has spawned, which has triggered a special Uber Eats offer that you can check out in chat or the Twitch extension. Make sure to check that one out, as Otacon could be the next magnet for action to happen here. Again, both these teams, they love to scrap over everything on the Rift. But despite Disguise kind of staying in it earlier on, 100 Thieves have been winning the team fights.
Well, the arrow hits. I don't think it's going to mean much. Should be able to walk out. But 100 Thieves, it's interesting because, when I talk about them and being able to build their advantages through team fights, this is what I'm talking about. They have by far the highest percentage of their kills are in team fights.
Yeah.
And we're defining a team fight as kills where at least 3 members on each side are there. So a 3v3, 4v4, 5v5, etc. is all going to count. Almost 75% of their total kills are from that. It's very rarely from like 2v2s, 1v1s. It's always from these big grouped up fights. They are going to group, they are going to fight you, and they are very, very good at it. And DSG has tried to match them at their own game, but you don't beat Steph Curry in three-point competition,
Hard to do it. Hard to do it. But again, not for lack of trying. Disguised are still, attempting a lot on the Rift. They just haven't been able to make it stick there. But I guess to your analogy, does that make it 2's company, 3's a team fight, something like that?
Sure.
Yeah? All right.
I'll just go with that.
Cool. Yeah, I heard a yeah from the audience. Thank you. Thank you for that one.
Let's be clear, that was a pity, yeah.
I'll take what I can get at this point, Azael, Sniper, though, might find himself caught out here in the sideline. He still has a turret to fall back on, though. And, okay, eXyu drops the Herald and will actually jump into it instead. They saw Sniper get too far away, and they will crack another structure.
Got a bounty. That's a W. Unfortunately, losing your mid lane.
Yeah, unfortunately, ScaryJerry having to flash away here as River runs in. Not as ideal, but that, I think, was an Ashe that just landed there onto FBI. He's locked down. Throws up the summoner spell, still falls as now Eyla in trouble as well. 100 Thieves maybe got a little overconfident here. getting picked in multiple locations.
Yeah, playing a little bit fast and loose there. Eyla was not with his AD carry, so FBI gets tagged by the Enchanted Crystal Arrow. They followed up with a trap. Nicely done. They CC him, they lock him down, and they are going to try to move down here and grab another objective bounty. Abbedagge also has a really good angle here. Tibbers is ready, and he has flash, so or doesn't quite have it. So if they do contest, and he can find someone. Maybe there is an opportunity, but they know he's there, and he is caught.
All alone, and unfortunately not able to pull off the flank play. Disguise really don't have another play other than to just keep looking at the dragon. Instead, they're going to go straight in onto River. They get the dragon secure. River is still alive. Are you kidding me? He just ults Castle, gets all the resistances. 100 Thieves jungler lives as snipers in the pit with ScaryJerry and eXyu. eXyu cannot keep his carry alive. Huhi has to flash away from Quid, who's looking for the finishing blows on him. eXyu now all alone in a 1v3. Quid continues the chase. Disguise, they got the dragon, but Quid will close out the fight with the ace.
Yeah, they're going to be able to grab the ace. Huhi just has no damage to be able to finish off Quid. Abbedagge did have a good thought here, but he was unfortunately on a ward. They all collapse on him. And once he gets caught out, it is so hard from this position for him to really do anything. Gets a bit of chip damage down, but that is about that. You can see on the other side, it looked like River was about to go down, but look at that. Low HP, pops the ulti, so much healing comes through, the hostile takeover, the shielding as well from Eyla, plus the bailout. River just takes so long to die, and he's AoEing them down with a Titanic Hydra as well. And then Sniper on the other side is just killing off ScaryJerry. He can put no threat whatsoever onto Sniper here, and they are back onto Otacon. They're going to take it as well.
100 Thieves will not back down. Anytime a fight presents itself, they will take it.
You got to find, you got to find. Hey, let me get a bite, guys.
Okay, careful. Empty.
Nice try.
Yeah, I think you can see some of the spark leaving the members of Disguise as they realize the position they're in. They are now looking for a miracle at 24.5 minutes into this game. Ashe lands. Quid is able to flash away as it was back off cooldown. Walks back into a trap about half health. Hostile takeover only hits onto 2 members, but Castle does not have the team behind him anymore. He got caught away from the rest of the members as FBI will pull back in. Eyla still in some trouble, stunned up. Castle has to flash back, does not land the second knock up. But Sniper on the flank hasn't done a lot other than catch the wave here, so 100 Thieves are fighting a 4v5 essentially. The Sniper now jumps away.
DSG never left the tower, so Sniper knows if he tries to go in there, they'll just turn on him, and his team won't really be able to follow up. Thought he had a good flank angle, ends up not really being able to make anything happen with it. And at the end of the day, DSG do just hold on. Fun fact, or not so fun fact, if you're the team in the lower bracket, you would have to win
if you like playing League of
best of
Legends
series in a row to be able to actually win the LTA playoffs, to win that championship.
Go down to time.
You only get into the lower bracket here. The upper bracket is already decided. The teams that got top 2 in the group were already guaranteed upper bracket. They were just playing for seeding. Well, these bottom 4 teams were just playing for those final 2 spots in the lower bracket. And if 100 Thieves win, they would be the 5th seed in playoffs here.
Oh, I think 100 Thieves are making their final play here. Flash forward, knock up on a ScaryJerry. Can't get over the wall as Quid goes godlike. Both bot laners fall. eXyu now finds himself in a 1v2. Castle trying to help him out, though, as Abbedagge has now joined up, but it's too late. eXyu's down. Abbedagge chased underneath the turret. It's just Castle left alive, but not for long, as 100 Thieves will win another team fight, find another ace, and it's all done but the Nexus, as they're also looking at the Baron.
Yeah, Rivers is spamming the Braum emote, pinging the Baron.
They might have been able to end there, but 10 seconds on Jerry. I think the safer play is the Baron instead. The team will back up for it.
Yeah, dead timers are pretty short for sure, so they're just not going to mess around with it. They will go back to the Baron, be able to grab this up, and then get back out on the map. Dragon will be spawning, and DSG looking really, really doomed, honestly, at this point. They are so far down, and you look at the amount of gold that's in pockets as well. There's nearly like 10,000 gold being carried around by 100 Thieves that they haven't even spent. So they have a ridiculous amount of gold to actually go back and spend. So we're going to see items starting to pile in here. And things only going to go from bad to worse as you look across the board and you see, all of these item leads in every single role.
And all you can do is Disguise at this position. Again, backs against the wall. Season looking like it's about to end here. Just do something, Fearless, man. Show us something. Show us signs of life. Show us that you got what it takes to at least answer 100 Thieves somewhere on the Rift. They've been looking for plays with the Ashe arrow. I want to see the full combo. Give me the flash timbers. Give me the Sion ulting in there. Give me everybody committing. Because really, at that point, like, there's nothing else that they can look for.
That's all you can do. Yeah, absolutely. Against the Baron buff, you know, you don't really have any wave clear mage. Like, you have Annie. You're not going to be able to clear out these waves. So you have to just choose a side, fully commit, hope you get a pick, hope that buys you some time to delay the Baron. It is your only real opportunity here. And 100 Thieves, they just have to spread. As long as you're not all getting hit by like a 5-man Timbers or something, there's just no way you're losing these fights.
They do have the Caitlyn traps placed. River's able to actually get around them. Now walks in to try and buy some more space. Chunked out slightly, but should be able to heal that up just fine. As the wave clear is there, Disguise were able to kind of push back. Sniper now getting that Baron buff back onto the mid wave as Cashel will try and catch it. So 100 Thieves, they're playing the 4-1 currently. Chaos Storm goes down. Abbedagge taking a lot of damage into the pillar, so he can't even jump away from Viktor. Ultimate, one more tick. Barely walks out of there. The heal from huhi keeping him up as 100 Thieves now look to chase forward. FBI dancing around. eXyu healing up in the fountain with the rest of the team. It's huhi and Castle under the Nexus turrets. The rest of Disguise now grouped up. This is the series-defining moment right here. Disguised on their last-ditch effort. The arrow will go wide as 100 Thieves now try and absorb the engage. Quid goes into the stasis. Eyla buying spice for the team. A triple knockup. A double kill to Sniper as 100 Thieves will crush another fight. This one under the Nexus. Some things are stolen. Some things are earned. 100 Thieves just crushed Disguise and are going to playoffs.